Hey everyone, today I want to talk about penance. I want to start with a quote from St. Rose of Lima where she says, "Let all men know that grace comes after tribulation. Let them know that without the burden of affliction, it is impossible to reach the height of grace. Let them know that the gifts of grace increase as the struggles increase. Let men take care not to stray and be deceived. This is the only true stairway to paradise, and without the cross they can find no road to climb to heaven." I would like to clarify that no one needs to do anything to earn God's love. God loves you regardless. However, God does love you in hopes that you will love him in return. And there is a level of mortification required in order to achieve that reciprocal intimacy with Christ, and so that we can love him in a manner that even begins to approach the way in which he loves us and to unite ourselves to his suffering. I have found in my personal experience the times in which I feel closest to God and the times in which the veil feels the most lifted, if you will, are the times in which I am suffering or sacrificing something out of love for God to the point that it hurts. I have found in my personal experience that over time, although I may take on particular penances, I grow accustomed to them and they begin to become simply habit, and they are no longer painful to the degree that they were when I initiated them. And so it has come to my understanding recently that as we grow in sanctification and as we do these penances and make these sacrifices in order to show our love back to God for all that he has given us, that we get grace back for these sacrifices that we make, and these sacrifices become easier. And if we don't want to backslide in our path to holiness, we want to continue forward to advance in virtue and sanctification, that as we grow accustomed to our penances, we are then called to take on greater and greater penances because God gives us the grace to. In Matthew 11:30, Christ claims that his yoke is sweet and his burden is light. And we are called to imitate Christ, and we look at what he went through and we might think, what about that is sweet and light? And there is something that happens on a supernatural level where as you suffer, if you suffer in love, you get that grace that you need to feel that union with God, such that your suffering is not painful in the way that it would be on a purely natural level. It becomes supernaturalized, and when you come from a place of love, which is important, you can't just pick a laundry list of things to do with no love. That then just becomes pointless exercises. But when done in love, these things unite you with Christ mystically and bring you to that higher level of holiness and sanctification. The proper state of existence is never comfort in this world, as Christ was not comfortable in this world. Our comfort is saved for our life in the world to come. So as we begin to take our first steps towards union with Christ, and we begin to make these sacrifices and to accept suffering out of love for him, and we receive this grace in return as the result of our tribulation, we find that we can take on greater and greater sufferings. And this is how, over time, we will acquire the grace required to become great, great saints. That's all I wanted to cover today, the topic of penance. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time.